I used to work in the streets at night because I ran away from home. I was being abused by my stepmother. She used to use me for her witchcraft things, and whenever I told my dad about it, he would not believe me or defend me. So I had to run away from home. That was the only option I had. So I decided to leave home and go to the streets because I also had nowhere else to go. So when I arrived there in the streets the first night, I was raped by different men. And it was something that used to continue weekly until I was saved by this other lady who was also working in the streets at night. She took a pepper spray out of her bag and sprayed the man who was raping me and grabbed my hand and ran with me to her flat. So when we got to her flat, she ran me a bath and borrowed me some of her clothes and gave me food. I stayed with her for like almost a month, and she was so kind and loving and taking care of me. So towards month end, she asked me what was my plan. Because I was not working, I was just staying there. And that is how I ended up joining her line of work and became a night street worker because I had to do something to take care of myself, to bring food on the table because she was not going to take care of me for forever. So one night while I was scouting for clients with big cars, a man with a very expensive car stopped where I was standing and said to me, he has 5,000 rands for the whole night. And I jumped right inside the car without even thinking twice because I only charged 1,000 rand for the whole night. So 5,000 rands to me was something big. The man was sitting at the back, so I jumped in and sat next to him. It was dark inside the car and I couldn't quite see what was happening or see how the man was looking. So when I got inside the car, my head this frizzy feeling the minute I entered, and it was so cold inside the car. But I just got in and sat down and started making small conversations with them, but it was just quiet. No one answered me until I kept quiet. So we arrived at a very big house. It was it was his house and he welcomed me. So while we were sitting inside the car, the driver got out of the car and opened the door for him and carried him. And I noticed that the guy had no legs, his arms were half, and he was very hairy all over his body. It was at this time when I noticed everything. When we got into the house, he was also carried to his bedroom. So the minute we sat on the bed in his bedroom, an old woman appeared holding a black dish with reddish liquid inside of it, and she gave that dish to the man and left. I was so terrified, and you could see that I was not comfortable. I was very scared because of what I just saw. And he said to me that I shouldn't worry, he's not going to sleep with me, but he's still going to give me the 5,000 rands, and that he was sent to me by my ancestors. And at this point, I just wanted to run away. I just wanted to get out of the place. So he started telling me everything about my life, from when my mother passed away, from when my stepmother taught me witchcraft things, and to the day I ended up on the streets. He skipped nothing. He was just narrating everything. He was just narrating a story about my life, and I was just in tears. I was crying so bad because everything he was saying was true and it was real. And I also found out from him that my dad had passed away. I was crying the entire time, realizing how painful my life has been. So He then said to me that my great grandmother sent him to rescue me from everything that I've been going through. And while he was saying this, I saw my grandmother and my mother appearing on the mirror that was in the bedroom. And I was so shocked. I was so terrified. And